Pokemon Black and White remakes are definitely the most anticipated game in Pokemon right now. Like, besides Gen 10, I feel like most people are kind of waiting for Pokemon Black and White remakes. And today we got some leaked Game Freak documents that basically confirm that Pokemon Black and White remakes are going to release in the future. But in these documents, Game Freak specifically mentions Pokemon Black and White remakes. So of course, that's super hype. That's as good of a confirmation as any that these games are going to happen pretty soon, at least way sooner than we expect. And if you're a Gen 5 fan like me, you're going to be super hyped for this news. So in this video, I'm going to break down everything that we have in these new leaked documents and kind of just tell you guys exactly when you guys can expect these games to release, and just some more info and details about the game that we have. And I also want to say real quick before we get into it that I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers on my channel. So if you guys don't mind helping me out to reach my goal, I extremely appreciate all you guys. And also me and Fundoris, the other PokeTuber, are still doing a giveaway for the Legends EA DLC. So if you guys want to enter the giveaway, all you guys have to do is join our Discord server. The link for that will be down below, and just follow all the rules on there and you guys will automatically be entered. And the giveaway is going to end once the DLC comes out, so you guys got a lot of time, so make sure you guys don't miss out on it. But yeah, anyways, let's get into it. All right, so we got this post here from Centro, and he says that this is actually from the Game Freak document. So he says, remakes made for Black and White onward should have a lot more love and care put into them. I hope that they become good games that will allow people to enjoy eras different from the Legend series. And he says, note that currently Game Freak has no Unova remake in development. This is just them mentioning that they will eventually do it, and when they do it, it's going to be a full remake. Which, before you guys get disappointed that they aren't actually developing them right now, just wait and hear me out, guys, because I think this is actually extremely good news. So first of all, I think it's really good news that these games are actually being acknowledged by Game Freak, and the fact that they're talking about them in this context definitely means that they're going to do this sometime in the future. And something else I feel like is just really good news is the fact that the way I'm taking this is that they've kind of acknowledged that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl just weren't the best games. Like, you know, those games are obviously pretty lazy and just not very well received, especially from those Gen 4 fans. So I think they've honestly learned their lesson. I think they're actually going to give us an amazing game once we get Pokemon Black and White remakes. If you guys think back to Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, as well as Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you guys can just tell that there's so much love put into those games. Like, there's so many different features in both of those games that they didn't have to do, but you know, they still went ahead and did it anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of care put into those games, and I just feel like the fact that Game Freak is actually saying this specifically about Black and White remakes is honestly such great news, because you guys know how big of a fan I am of Gen 5. So I think just based on this, there's so much to look forward to with these Gen 5 games. I imagine they're going to give us a lot of cool new features in this game. Think stuff like the Eon Flute. I thought the Eon Flute was such a good idea in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It allowed us to kind of travel around Hoenn and explore the region in a really unique way. So maybe we'd get to ride around on Zekrom and Reshiram kind of the same way that N does. That would be absolutely insane, and I definitely think that'd be extremely fitting too. But guys, unfortunately, like always, there's kind of a catch to this news. So Centro says to take into account that if Game Freak's current schedule pans out, then the Unova remakes will happen at the very least around the Nintendo Switch 3 release. So who knows if we're actually going to get a Switch 3, but he's basically saying that Gen 5 remakes are going to happen on the next console, so most likely not on the Switch 2. If the new leaked Game Freak release schedule is actually legit, then we didn't actually see Black and White remakes on that list. But like I always say, man, the leaks might not be entirely accurate. So just for my sake, and maybe you guys watching, if some of you guys are big fans of Gen 5 like me, I honestly just think it would make the most sense if we got Gen 5 remakes on the Switch 2, because if you guys haven't noticed the pattern by now, after each new generation happens that isn't an odd number, so like for example Gen 4, Gen 6, Gen 8, the generation that's half of that number is usually the one that gets remade. So obviously we got Gen 2 remakes with Gen 4, we got Gen 3 remakes with Gen 6, and then we got Gen 4 remakes with Gen 8. So logically you could only assume that we're going to get Gen 5 remakes once Gen 10 rolls around, which apparently Gen 10 is supposed to release next year. So if that is actually true, then we could maybe even expect to see Gen 5 remakes as soon as 2027 or maybe 2028. But I don't know, guys. I don't think they would break this pattern all of a sudden. I really think that Gen 5 remakes are probably going to be sooner than we think, and I honestly really don't think that leaked release schedule for Game Freak is going to be totally accurate. So I think for all the Gen 5 fans, we got some good news to look forward to. So let me know what you guys think down below, if you guys think Gen 5 remakes are soon, and also what new features you guys might like to see in these games. Like I said before, I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers, so if you guys don't mind helping me out to reach my goal, I extremely appreciate all you guys. Make sure you enter the giveaway if you're interested. And also guys, this is my very first face cam video. I'm most likely going to be doing more of these in the future, so hopefully you guys like it. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.